Angie Martinez in Real Life podcast.
Gerard Carmichael, everybody.
Yes. Hi.
Gerard, I like you so much already.
I like you a lot.
I like you so much already.
I like you a lot. I've been very excited. I've been
Oh,
telling everybody
stop.
in my life.
Shut up.
Truly, like maybe 3 dream people to talk to. You.
Who am I on the list with?
This is you.
Tell me the list.
Oprah, Charlie Rose. Charlie's gone.
May
lost
he
Charlie.
rest in
Yeah,
peace.
we lost Charlie.
May he
We
rest
had a
in
great
peace.
run.
Yeah.
And like, but just thoughtful.
And no Oprah yet? Ever?
You know, I don't know if me and Oprah. I might say nigga too much for Oprah. I don't know what it is about Oprah. I love her. I mean, I think she's absolutely. I know you love her too.
Of course, she's. Yes.
Just absolutely incredible.
She's been taking a beating lately. I feel like that people don't love her as much. Like it used to be unanimous that everybody loved Oprah.
Well, it goes through phases. It was like, because I grew up during she's a sellout. My dad couldn't stand Oprah. My mom watched her every day.
Really?
So it was always these waves of like, they love her, they hate her, she's black excellence, she's white, she's what, like, you kind of, I'm old enough to have seen those phases that she's gone through, and so it's like, yeah, like right now, people don't like rich people, and they tweet about it on Elon Musk's Twitter.
Yeah, that's what happens. I love that I get to be on a list with just me and Oprah.
For sure, I was so excited,
so sweet.
And
Stop.
you know, I used to like download your interviews on like Kazaa and LimeWire and stuff like that.
That's so
like,
random.
Yeah, like 'cause I was in North Carolina, and so there was no way to capture that before pre-internet like things, and especially like your interviews with Jay were like Jay's like one of the architects of my personality. So I loved you and him together because it was so. It was just like always a great, exciting, funny dynamic, and you got so much more out of him than everybody else.
He used to call us the Snoop and Dre of the radio because we had so many great interviews. And I wish a lot of those were on video because I don't think a lot of people don't even know that.
Oh, I love. I mean, the post. I mean. Post R. Kelly one is exciting.
No,
also
that's
exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting. Like post Summer Jam, post R. Kelly, all these moments. You find him then when he just showed up, you didn't even know he was coming.
That happened a few times.
Yeah, you just like had to like. I love all of
I love
those.
that. That makes me so happy. Who were you back then? Like in that time frame. So you're listening to these Angie Martinez, Jay-Z interviews.
Yeah.
Who are you?
I'm a little kid in
Like,
Rockaware.
how old?
I'm probably I was born in '87, so 13 maybe.
Yeah.
Wearing my like Rockaware or Sean John or Jabot like T-shirt, the
Lots of
label, lots of
label.
logos and labels. My big brother lived in the house. He's like 8 years older than me, so he was the one that really put me on all the music that shaped my personality. Like just Biggie. He was like in North Carolina listening to Biggie early. We had Reasonable Doubt on Priority Records. He had the tape.
The original.
Priority, the original Dead Prez, like, and was like one of the only ones at the time, like really, really on Jay, and you know, we listened to a lot of New York rap and stuff like that in the house.
Are you funny at that age?
I'm learning I'm funny. 8th grade, I think, was the moment when I really realized I was funny. There was this class debate. It's this guy, Mr. Nairi, who wanted us to have a class debate. And he separated us into teams. Like he had us read this article. It's like, if you agree with the man in the article, you sit on this side of the classroom. If you disagree, you sit on the other. And I was the only one who agreed, and I battled the whole class. But I was funny. Everyone was laughing, and like the more people laughed, the more they saw my point. So I remember that being a big turning point. But my family's funny. My dad's real funny. Like everybody's like, my mic's falling a little bit, so I'm just gonna
get it together.
No, yeah, I'm gonna get it together here.
Just wanted to flash your belly to the.
Yeah, a little bit. You know, I've been going on walks.
You've been on the gym.
I don't never. Walks are all I got. That's why I live in New York, so I can go on walks. That's my only exercise. I got a couple 30-pound dumbbells in the house. Sometimes I lift them up.
That's it.
That's it. Truly nothing.
That's funny you say your dad is funny because I only know your dad from the show now.
Yeah, and he's quieter now and more people. Like my dad was. I mean, there are flashes to him younger on the show. My dad was very charismatic. You gotta be. We can't maintain multiple families and not be kind of charismatic, kind of funny.
Yeah. You know, and also this is a very specific time in his life that you captured.
Yes.
So his energy towards that is probably a little different.
Well, he's now in the let's leave the past in the past. Let's not talk about anything. Just watch the game phase of his life. Like, he plays Madden, so he just wants to play Madden. He doesn't want to talk about the past. He just wants to
What year was he born?
He was born in 57, so he's 30 years older than me.
Yeah, because I find that generation.
Oh, they don't want to talk about anything.
They don't want to talk about nothing.
No.
They don't want to talk about any wrongdoings or any they hide behind. They would cover up anything that was
Yeah, and he wants to be seen
generational.
as a good person, like we all do. Like, we all want to be good.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to do the work necessary to get to that. Like, you have to go through the bad things, mistakes, regrets.
Own them.
Own them.
Yeah.
You have to own them and go through them. And he's more of the I apologized once, drop it.
I said it.
Remember I said I'm sorry that one time?
for the 7,000.
Yeah. Like, I said I'm sorry one time.
That's really
Merry
funny.
Christmas. Yeah.
There's I don't want to dig into it yet because when we talk about this show that is on HBO right now,
Yes.
I have so many thoughts and so many questions. But
I'm comfy. You can get anything out of me, so you know.
I love that for us.
I'll say anything to you.
I love that for us. Well, let's start at the beginning of IRL because we ask everybody on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you today?
Ooh, today's good. I feel really, really good today.
So 1 to 10.
I'm only gonna say a 9 because I want to give myself room for something else. I don't know. Actually, 10. If this isn't a 10 day, what isn't a 10 day?
I love
No, really.
that.
I'm happy to be here. I was excited to talk to you. I feel comfortable. I feel.
I love that.
Yeah, I feel good.
Is that on an average day, where do you land, do you think?
I mean, there are days, I'm usually a pretty happy person. I've had phases and periods of, like you see it in the show, where I'm really tormented by things and I'm going through things. And that's really the reason we captured it, because it was such a disruption to my demeanor, like who I normally am. I'm normally like a positive, happy person. And then I was going through things like really tough situations, and I didn't know what the answer was, and I was trying to figure things out in my life, and I was in a fetal position a lot, and it's no good. But that, a lot of that is captured on the show.
On the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wonder about that, watching it. Is it you? I don't know. I've had a lot of not a lot, but a few conversations about the show, and there's so many different. The way where it lands with people is so different from person to person.
Yeah, no, some people can't. Some people, episode 1, nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
What is the number one reason you think?
Oh, the foot in the mouth. People get real conservative about, I put someone's
the sexuality.
The sexuality of it. I put someone's foot in my mouth, and people are like, no, don't want it at all. I didn't realize people were so conservative until that moment. I thought that was mild.
Sexuality, especially on display like that, you can lose people right away out the gate.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
That's a big part of religion. A lot of religion is just hey, I can't focus on what I want sexually, so let me talk to this guy.
Yeah.
Dear God, take my sexual urges away from me, please, please.
You think that's the root of
I think that's a huge part of religion. I think it's to cover up sexual urges. Because a lot of it, it's religion is like drugs, and a lot of drugs is to cover up sexual urges. And I think a lot of it is sexual. Yeah. Yeah, I think you go to God to protect yourself from feelings.
You want to piss people off early in this podcast, is what you're telling me.
No, I want to free them. I want to free them, Angie. I want to liberate people. I'm feeling comfortable. I want people to go through what I went through, because I definitely hid behind God. I'm speaking to myself. A lot of times it sounds like I'm just talking trash. I'm really talking about me. I was a 20-something, very religious person, and a lot of the reasons because I felt wrong. I felt ashamed of myself. Such a deep shame. I was gay. I wasn't supposed to be. That's not the idea that my mother had of me, or my father. That's not who I thought I was. It's not who I wanted to be. I tried to pray it away. I tried so hard not to be gay. Oh my God.
Did you literally say that prayer?
I said the prayer. I don't know how graphic can we be on this thing?
Whatever you want.
So this is from middle school, early high school. Like, I would get home from school before my parents got off work. So, you know, you're a kid. You're like, I had the internet, so it was like definitely going to like sites. I'm definitely jerking off, right? But I had to put things away because a religious household, so I like had to put the Bible away because I felt like God was watching me. That was always a presence. Hide the footprints in the sand thing, like just all these things. So I would go to like a gay site, jerk off. I would follow it up with straight porn. I always jerked off twice as a kid. I know I'm being real graphic, but I jerked off twice as a kid. Once for me, and then once to cleanse myself. I was like, okay, well, if God sees me jerking the straight porn, I'm straight, right?
God
I was trying to trick God, because God loves pussy. That's the thing about God, loves pussy. Not with the gay shit.
It's like you want to upset people.
Loves pussy.
So you're trying to trick God.
Trying to trick God, trying to trick myself.
Trying to trick yourself.
Yeah.
Were you aware
Well,
that
just trying to believe it. Just trying to believe it. I thought I believed it. I was like, this is like, because immediately I would feel the like guilt. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm like lusting after men. Oh my God, how
Did you know was there any examples of, did you know anybody else gay? Or
there were kids that we called gay. No one ever made that statement. Like by high school, there was like one guy who was like out, maybe one or two like guys that said they were gay.
Yeah.
But in the South, that's just a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
It's like you fear for your own safety. I get why nobody really came out. And so there's guys, leading the choir with just lying to their grandmas. That's the environment I'm from. Like, you just don't say it, and people respect you for not saying it. Even the ones that couldn't hide it as well, you just don't say it. So it wasn't a lot. I didn't grow up with a lot of examples of out gay men.
That makes me so sad for you, like, or not you, but the kid version of you, like,
yeah.
A kid who's got, it's just all of that emotion, all of that like guilt, and I don't know, just
looking for an outlet. And because that's part of the reason I wanted to make the show. I wanted to be what I needed to see as a kid. Just like, even with all the warts and the trouble and the turmoil, I wanted to make something that I wish I had seen. I remember when, was it Real World? When Karamo, like, he's on Queer Eye now, but I remember him saying he was bi. And that was like, I was like, oh my God, it's like a masculine black man that was like, I'm bi. And like my homegirl Avery thought he was hot, so I was like, he's so cool. Like, Karamo was so like secretly cool to me because there just weren't a lot of examples.
It's so interesting because now I feel like, and maybe just because I have a different perspective because I'm from New York.
Yeah, you have more of that.
We go into clubs, we go to gay clubs, we go to straight clubs, doesn't matter. You're around, it's just a freer, growing up in New York, it's just a freer atmosphere. So I don't know, to me, I can't even imagine living that in something like,
and there are people,
that way.
Even in New York or LA, one of these major cities, who still have like a religious family, or have like a mother that wouldn't accept it, or a father, or someone that they stay in the closet for. Mm-hmm. And so even in the most liberal situation, most liberal city, like, you still might have a reason to be terrified, terrified to make that statement.
Especially when you talk about the fact that you were a hip hop fan.
Oh my God, yeah.
When I think about early hip hop and how homophobic it was.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's still tons of that happening.
Yeah.
But earlier hip hop was like,
no, it was
impossible.
Nobody even thought twice about it.
Impossible for somebody to be gay and also be part of hip hop culture.
Oh no, it's over. It's over. Yeah, that was even the insinuation was like
really crazy behavior when you think about it.
Yeah, you reflect on it. You're like, what's the accusation?
But I think of you in that time and being that age and wearing
just
a Rockaware jersey.
Just confirmed it.
Jersey.
Like.
Even in your Nathaniel special, you say there was a moment where you were like that you were somebody who used to use the term pause. Like you would.
Oh yeah, it was, I still kind of say it as a joke. I still say it like say pause, no homo.
It's funny now because you're living in your truth, right? But like when you're not.
But that's a lot of what masculinity is. I think it's defined by just don't do anything a woman would do, right? Like that's like it's a very like historically narrow definition of masculinity. Like, don't do anything a woman would do, including but not limiting to lusting after a man in any way. Oh my God, it's over. It's over. Like, I mean, just think about like the number one insult is like suck my dick. Like all these things. These are like, like just don't do anything.
Don't be soft.
Don't be soft.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Well,
Yeah.
you know.
How did that make you feel about like, I don't know, your favorite rappers when they would say things, or, you know, how can you be a fan of the culture but then also being somewhat insulted by it? And,
Yeah, you know,
and-
I didn't think I was gay. So to me, I'm just like, yeah, get him. yeah, tell him.
pause.
Yeah, pause. No homo. What? Like I identify with the straights. Like, you know, I thought I was that. I'm dating girls.
Yeah.
You know, like.
So then does that make the transition harder when you're finally coming to your truth and you realize, oh, wait a minute.
Well, I just never thought I would. That's the thing. I never thought I would come out. I just assumed I would, like, I assumed I'd get married, you know, do some stuff on the side maybe.
That was your big plan?
Yeah, have some kids that my mom could be happy with, but never make that statement. Because that's the hard thing, to say it. You like, it's like, oh, I'm gay. Like, I never planned on saying that.
So what was the thing that made you?
Well, being in the closet was so stressful. It was ruining my life. Like, I felt like such a hypocrite, just making my dad confront his secrets, because I'm the one that made him tell my mom about his other family.
Wow.
Trying to live truthfully. What does that mean? Lying about where I was last night. One lie begets a million lies. Like, you say one, like it is true. Like, you never lie about one thing. Like, if you lie about one thing, you got to tell a million lies. You got to maintain it. You'd be surprised how often it comes up. Like, no, I thought you said. You got to maintain it. So I just got exhausted by it. I felt like a liar. I was a liar.
What age is this?
I forget, actually. I was around 30, I believe, when I came out.
That's
Maybe.
you grown.
Yeah, I was grown.
Yeah.
I was grown. Yeah. And that's a little hard. It's a hard thing to deal with, because a lot of the show, you see me in a post-adolescent phase, right? I came out and now, okay, I did the thing that a lot of people do when they're 16, the brave ones.
Well, you're talking about what happened on the special, the Nathaniel special, right? Or you're not? Is that when is that when you actually came out?
That was me coming out publicly.
Publicly.
It was very close to when I told my my friends and family. I recently told them, and by Nathaniel, I had the talk with my mom and my dad maybe a year prior to that, and things got really rough and we just weren't speaking. So then I made the special as a response. Like, I didn't go home for Christmas for the first time. It was just a really, really rough period in my life. And so Nathaniel was, okay, this is a statement to my mom. It's really focused to my mom, like a thing for her to see me.
Yeah, I get that from you. Like, even from even when we were talking earlier about the new show, the reality show, and the different perspectives of it. My perspective is that you've been bottled up for so long, and then you, like, not only do you want truth for yourself, but you want truth for everybody around you.
To live in it. It's hard for me to live. It's hard for me to even have small talk. I always say this about my boyfriend. One of the things I love about him is that he does not have small talk. He just won't engage. We could be on the elevator, people are like, yeah, it's hot out. Because I'm not doing this with you. But he's a very honest person. Like, he lives very truthfully and honestly, and I aspire to that. I think I'm like kind of a natural born liar.
First of all you do is tell the truth. The primary reason some people can't watch the show is it's like too truthy.
Yeah,
It's like too much truth.
Yeah, no, I think
it's like somebody who's been bottled up for so long that it's like OD truth.
Yes. Oh no, this is like remember the Jim Carrey movie Liar Liar?
Yeah.
He just like got struck by lightning or something, just had to tell the truth. Though I have to tell the truth all the time. But it's a response to my life up until this point, where I lived in secrecy, a lot of shame. Everything was a lie. Compartmentalized friends, compartmentalized parts of my life. Wasn't like I was keeping one hand from the other. And now I'm like, no more of that truth. Like truth, which can be hard on relationships. My boyfriend calls me the thought police. So I'm like, you mean that? I'm always just like, what do you like? I'm always giving
that
them the
the
Larry
truth?
David eyes, just like, yeah, yeah,
That's so funny.
yeah.
And how's that working out for you? Like all of this truth. How does it feel?
Oh, it's rough. It's rough
Yeah.
at times. It feels good to live in that, to not, because I was so used to.
Because it's not just sexual. It's not just your sexuality. It's not just being gay. That's the truth. You're even being truthful about whether you can be monogamous. You're being
Yes.
truthful about. You're just being truthful about your
Yeah.
relationship with your parents.
Yes, and my belief is that everybody's in the closet about something. Like everybody has some part. Some people are antisocial and in very highly social environments, smiling, lying,
Going home crying.
going home crying, just like devastated. I was in the closet about more than my sexuality. And the show was me just coming out of a million closets. Like, all right, let me come
All
out
the
about all of,
closets.
all
All
the
the
closets.
closets.
All the closets, all the things that I
Yeah.
was ashamed of, all the things that I would normally hide. Hey, now you got nothing on me.
Yeah.
Like now I'll just be totally honest about everything in my life. And now the world doesn't have, because it felt like the world had a secret on me. And I had to stay in line and be a good boy because like any moment I could be exposed. And I don't feel that way anymore.
Good for you.
Yeah, it feels good. But it's also, people will hate you for it.
I was gonna say it doesn't come with no cost.
Yeah,
There's a cost,
People
yeah.
people will get mad at you. Sometimes for good reasons. Sometimes just because they don't want to see the truth in themselves. They don't want to confront it. They don't want to live in it. They'd rather live in the pleasantries and the small talk. They'd rather live in that realm. And sometimes I feel like I'm standing in this circle of reality and I'm inviting people in. Some people just don't want to join the circle. Some people would rather, they're like, no, come back out here where it's safe.
Well, it's safe, yeah.
Yeah, come back out here where we just talk about nonsense.
That's boring.
Yeah.
And then somebody like you who's like, you're a comedian, and I don't mean in the traditional sense comedian. It's like, but comedians by nature to me are like, you're supposed to be finding the deepest, most unique truths
Yeah.
to make art.
Well, I'm trying to
right?
find it about myself.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
You're
like-
on the quest. You're like watching. Comedians by nature are observers. You observe
Yes.
people. You observe situations, and your job is to like bring it to us in a way that we go, "Oh, that's funny," because I never thought about it. Or, "Oh, yeah, you're right. I never, you know."
Yes.
You're meant to
yes,
do that.
Yes, and I'm doing that. I think before I came out, it was always, I was trying to bring the truth about everything, politically, racially, what I was throwing a lot of grenades. Now I'm only talking about the thing that I have ownership over. Myself, my life. I'm not even an expert on my own life. I'm still figuring things out. But a lot of my time spent on stage is exploring the problems that I have, exploring the truth, understanding it, understanding myself. And that's felt so much better. It's like even like now people come to the show and it is so fun.
I want to go to a show.
You have to for sure.
I would love that.
Oh, I would love that.
I would love
I
that.
would love if you were there.
Yeah, I would
Oh,
love
I
that.
feel so much pressure with you in the crowd.
Stop! Shut
oh,
up.
I would love that.
No, I'm all in. I'm in
no,
on
I
it.
would. And that would be my best show ever.
Stop it.
Yeah.
That would be so much fun. And it
I
has to
feel
be
like-
in New York. It has to be a New York show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have a hard time telling the truth? Because I feel like part of the reason I love you and part of the reason I was like excited to come here
Yeah.
is because everything always feels so honest. Like all your
Yeah.
conversations
Thank you.
always feel so honest. You're this ray of light. Like your light isn't diminished in any way.
Thank you.
Like you feel
So
very
nice.
bright and very, very attractive. And I feel like you wouldn't struggle with it, or you're able to overcome that struggle. But that's me projecting that.
That's a good question. I think I have always tried to. I think that's my interview thing, right? It's like if I'm talking to whoever it is, I'm trying to find their truth.
Yeah.
So if you're a rapper, if you're a singer, you're on, and if you're presenting something to me that feels false,
Yes.
I'm gonna try to get you past that.
Yeah.
And get you
yeah.
to, and
yeah.
get to the truth of
yeah,
what you're
you seem
saying.
to you're a really good detective
So I try to
of, like,
find
bullshit.
truth. Yeah, I try to find truth in people. I don't want to hurt anybody, but like let's get to know you, really.
Yes.
I know you're posturing a little bit right now, but let's get to know you.
But
Now,
you're
that's
like-
my thinking.
Because
of,
what's
like,
cool about you, you'll be like, we can just not talk about it. Like if you don't want to bring the truth,
That's fine.
We can go somewhere else.
Totally.
But like,
yeah, totally.
but
Because
don't
I'm
just
not
give
trying to
me
hurt
the
you.
statement. Yeah.
I'm not trying to hurt you. And if your truth hurts you and you're not ready, then I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So I think so. But the thing is, I was always able to do that in conversation or find some truthful connection with people. But I didn't give a lot of my own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had the luxury of talking about somebody else's
always
life.
about them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really about
yeah.
it. So this podcast is really when I had to start. No, maybe before my book. I wrote a book and I shared a lot, and so there's moments in
The
my
books
career.
revealing. When I watch episode, like I was watching the Ryan Coogler episode of the
Oh,
show.
he was
and it's
great,
just-
yeah,
Yeah, but
thank
you're
you.
great. Like you also share. You are also very
Yeah.
open. And
Well,
you're
now,
very
because I'm like grown-up version of myself now.
Yeah.
But younger version of myself, I was a little protected, especially in the culture, hip hop, and I'm a woman running around town and trying to be.
Oh, it's hard. I couldn't imagine just being in that highly masculine environment. You see it play out with
do
like
you ever
rappers.
remember like episodes of me crying or getting vulnerable in any of those?
Yeah.
Never.
Wow.
No,
Yeah,
never.
yeah,
Never
yeah.
that.
You just kind of had to be the
I'm
one
good.
of the guys, kind of.
100%.
Well, because comedy's like
100%.
that in a sense. Like female comedians and like female rappers, like it's a really strong bravado that
Yeah.
you like a lot of time you put on for success
Yeah.
in the big. You have to be super tough and you got to have thick skin and
Yes.
and I think while that serves a purpose, like it's like what's really interesting is vulnerability. Like the ones even like the rappers that I love are the ones that like give you a crack of vulnerability. That's why
Yeah.
I love Jay.
Yeah.
I think it's part of the secret to Drake's success.
Of course.
Is that like he gives you
A
a
little bit.
window
Yeah.
of vulnerability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now it's like cool. Now, like being vulnerable is fine. Thank you to Brene Brown and everybody
Oh,
else.
I be on my Brene Brown.
I know. I saw that in the doc.
Oh
You were
my
watching
God.
that.
I be watching Brene.
We're trying to get Brene on the show. I mean,
Oh,
what do we
she
got to
better.
do?
She has
right?
to. That'd be such a great
That's
combo.
what I think. I
Oh,
promise
yeah.
to be my most vulnerable if we get Brene Brown on the show.
Yes. Oh, then you'll cry.
I cry often. I cried in my last episode
Yeah.
that we did earlier today. No, I'm comfortable now doing that. But back in the day, that wasn't a thing. I think maybe the first time I cried on the radio was probably when Pac died.
Really?
And I remember even in that moment thinking to myself, oh God, this is like not okay. Like I gotta
Really?
I gotta pull myself together. It wasn't a comfortable, like somebody really important, somebody that had just recently impacted me passed away and it's okay that I'm crying on the radio. No. My feeling was like, get yourself
Wipe it up. Yeah,
get
yeah.
your shit together.
Wow.
You're on the radio. Like,
Wow.
what are you doing? And I cried and it happened, but it was not comfortable. And then, unfortunately we lost Big, we lost it.
Had
There was
like
other
a DJ
times.
looking at you like.
Yeah, it was red alert. It was like,
Yeah. Red alert's like, hey.
get it together, woman. You're on the radio.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't like that.
No,
at all.
no,
But I'm just saying.
But it's hard to reveal that part of
no,
yourself.
vulnerability was not.
You're afraid people are going to dismiss you as weak. I've been
Yes.
afraid of that my whole life. Just, you're going to write me off. I'm weak. Cast them aside.
Did people write you off?
No, I found the opposite. I found the opposite. I found actually deeper connection the more I reveal, the more I actually show. And that's why I don't mind even some of the response to the show. People have like a kind of negative response. I know that's necessary.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah, it's necessary. Like people, like that's why it's hard, because people will have a negative response to certain things that you reveal. But on the other side of that is deep connection. Like you find people. I'm recording these things in search of connection. I want to connect with the audience. I want to connect with people, and you can only do that. You can only have a truthful connection by revealing things about yourself that make you uncomfortable.
Are you getting that from are you getting a reaction from people who have yet to come out and are inspired by your journey?
Oh yeah. Or recently came out. I got my little private IG that we message on, like in the little
In the DMs?
in the DMs. Yeah. I sound so old. Like what's
That was
what's the
mad
box?
old of
That
you.
was mad old.
You could've just
I be
said
on there all the
music.
time. I'm not trying to act above it, but I forget. But the
terminology threw you
what I
off.
was trying to think of was the hidden requests. Like the people who aren't your friends. So the hidden request folder. I read some of those sometimes, and they are very thoughtful, very, very heartfelt messages of people who just came out to their families, who's struggling with being seen, who's struggling with making the statement about their lives. Like some gay, some not gay. It's been very beautiful. People on the streets. It's been very, very beautiful. I'm thankful that people have such a strong response to the show.
That's really nice to see. That's what we all hope, right?
It makes me really happy.
We hope that when we live in our purpose and we do our work and we are truthful, that
Yes.
in some way it lands on somebody and it affects them.
Yes, makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just doing it in the vacuum.
Yeah, I felt that from you. I felt because some of the show is hard to watch. Like it's tough stuff. Even especially the stuff with your dad and your mom, your parents. The sexuality stuff is like okay. if you're not used to it, I mean, if you've never been around somebody gay, maybe that rubs you a wrong way. But if you have, it's really not that. It's funny. A lot of it is actually funny to me. Like
I put a foot in my mouth.
You're like outrageous.
Like on TV, that's
but I also
insane.
feel because you've been bottled up for so long, you're like
why not?
that's gonna be the freest I've ever been.
Why not?
That's so funny.
Why? What am I hiding now? Like what? From who? Like I'm hiding from what? From you? From you? You like?
Yeah. You don't know. You're talking to the kid who had who was searching for that. Like you said, the younger version of yourself. But like some of the conversations with your dad about him having a whole other family.
Yeah. At least he had 4 kids by one woman. There might be some others we can't get him to talk about it.
Not confirmed. You know, there's all types of ways to find out.
I know, but there's like a couple floating around. I'm like, bro, you already.
Part of me felt happy for you watching. Not happy. Part of me felt like I understand. You want truth, and you're comfortable with the camera on. Helps you get to your truth. You say that yourself on the show. Then part of me, I felt bad for him because I felt like he just looked so. And he's older now, right? So
yeah.
So it's like the poor guy. But then you don't want to go down the poor guy road too much because he also has to answer for some of the things that have affected his son in a real way.
He's older now. I use a Sopranos analogy where like you think that. Did you watch The Sopranos?
Yeah.
So like in the show, you think that I'm Tony and my dad's Uncle Junior, but emotionally he's Tony and I'm AJ. I'm still the kid, like afraid of him, like terrified of his.
Oh, it doesn't come off like that at all.
Yeah, well, the cameras give me a little bit of strength, but the thing is, I need the cameras because you don't know what Thanksgiving is like without them. Like he just gives me a look and I recoil. I'm terrified.
Even now, still?
Oh yeah, of course. He's got that Joe Jackson grip on the family. Like this man, like I just know he's got guns in the house.
We don't see that on the show.
He was big. I know you don't see that, but he was someone I've always been afraid of. Don't get me wrong, charming, funny, wasn't like just like terrified every day, but like there are certain lines you don't cross with my dad, and that part of that was how he maintained the secret. Like he was able to keep everybody in line, I felt not only brave enough with the cameras, but also it incentivized me because otherwise it's like, I'm just wrong for bringing it up. You're ruining Christmas, Gerard, they'd say, for asking the questions that I really need to know the answer to. Questions to help me figure out my own life. I'm trying to move forward. And I want my dad to move forward. He lives, so my secret was being gay. His secret is the other family. We both want to be seen as good people. We both are weighed down by that secret. Like you could see it in my dad. Like he carries it with him, and he's afraid to go outside. He has a lot of shame. I'm trying to do the thing that when I came out in Rothaniel, it's like, hey, everybody knows I'm gay. I got nothing to hide. I don't gotta like lie to people on dating apps. I don't gotta like I can just be myself always. I'm trying to liberate my father in that same way. Like, hey, it's on HBO now. And I've been doing this for years. Like I had like 2 documentaries before this where we talked about it. It's like, it's over. Like this thing that you were trying to hold on to, it's out there. Everybody knows, be free, move on with your life. Like enjoy the rest of your life.
How has it been since it's come out? Better or worse? Did it work or did it not?
I always trying to get them to see me, see themselves. I can't tell. It's led to conversations we were afraid to have. Now my dad calls more. They ask about my boyfriend, which feels really nice.
That's sweet.
I feel seen in that way. So I do
love
think
that.
it helped. I think it helped in many ways to be able to just have these conversations, break through that wall, and now it's out in the open.
You know what's interesting to me? One thing about you talk about your dad and him having this whole other family, but then you even on this. In the reality show, we see you really struggle with it, being like monogamy is not a thing for you.
Yes.
So I just wonder how much of that is because of your father.
Or the example that was set, like okay, this is the relationship. You model yourself after your parents, like or whatever immediate relationship you see growing up.
Yeah.
So my dad maintaining a secret. validated as manhood in some way, a way that I'm still trying to figure out. I think I seek that same validation. I'm trying to validate. I don't know if it's the cachet of numbers. I don't know exactly what I'm seeking.
Well, that you were bottled up for so long.
I was bottled up for so long, but I'm still seeking validation in some way. Luckily, I'm gay. Otherwise, there'd be like 11 kids running around. Like, if I was straight, be so many kids with these eyebrows just running around the New York metropolitan area. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, it'd be insane.
But it's funny that that's the thing that you want him to be free about and owning that part of him. But you're still kind of.
I'm exploring it, and I need his help.
Out.
I need his help in answering these questions about myself, because your parents are the blueprint for your life. You can either rebel against it or you follow in the footsteps, but they are a template, and I'm trying to understand him, and I want him to understand me.
Yeah, everybody got things with their parents. Daddy issues is a very common conversation here on the In Real Life podcast.
I got mommy and daddy issues.
And you got both, baby.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Like it's a blessing I'm not on heroin. Like somehow I'm not on heroin.
What are you on? Like what is your advice?
Oh, I don't know.
I know what it is.
What?
It's sex.
Sex for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one of your advices.
Yeah. It's a quick thing to turn to, something that gives me validation, gives me a jolt of energy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
How do you feel about how I don't know, I saw what happened with the Breakfast Club, and also I've seen some other comments, just social media shit from response to some of the things on the show.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Like blowback or I don't know, you make this piece of art.
Yeah.
For your own purposes, for your own reasons, and you put it out in the world, and then it's received, and then you get shit back.
Yeah. It's like, I baked y'all a cake, and everybody just took a piss on it.
Yeah, or they throw the cake back at you, or they say the cake is trash.
Well, I did expect a certain amount. This show's at the intersection of a lot of things: sex, religion, race, masculinity. A lot of things that people can take opposite sides on and clash over. The Breakfast Club was a rough period because there was a lie just being spread as the truth. And so I went in angry. I was very, very angry. Do
you think it was a lie or was just perception?
Well, as it was reported, it was absolutely a lie. And it affected me and my relationship in a way that I just couldn't, I wouldn't stand for that, because it was a lie. I give enough for people to talk shit about. Like, there's plenty to talk shit. There's so much you could throw stones at, and I'm fine, and I'm making something. I know that I'm gonna be analyzed and dissected and have like such a sometimes an angry response, sometimes a visceral response from Twitter or Reddit or Instagram, whatever. Yeah. But what I couldn't handle was a lie being perpetuated, especially by Charlamagne, who's somebody that I respect, and I went in upset over that. I saw Kevin Hart at a party. He was joking about it. He was like, don't never let him see you angry. I was like, well, what if you mad?
Then what?
Yeah, then what? Like, then what do I do?
You don't know you're in your truth era.
Yeah, I'm in the truth era. I was mad. What do you want from me? He did a funny impression of me. He was, Kevin Hart was just like, okay, you be Charlamagne, and I'm gonna be you. And ask me how I'm doing. I was like, how you doing, Gerard? He's like, no, like, fuck all that shit. Like, Kevin's so funny.
That's funny. You did go in angry. I guess that's probably...
Yeah.
It's never good.
It's never good, but I mean, it was true.
It is what it was.
True, yeah.
Yeah.
I somehow, like, the Shade Room issued a retraction. That was a victory for me.
They did?
Yeah, they followed up. What more can you ask for?
What did they say? I didn't see that.
They played the whole joke. I was like, all I ask is, like, you can still talk shit, but just, like,
play the whole thing.
Yeah, play the whole thing. Put some context out there.
Race is always going to be sensitive.
Oh, for sure, especially now. And I get it. I got it from the trailer. Like, you put it out. I got a white boyfriend. People get upset about that. People have really, really strong feelings. It's like, what can you do? Here I am. I mean, it's funny because I am in love for the first time in my life, and here I am with someone who cares about me, and I care about him. And it's hard enough to find someone that you're compatible with just across all areas. Like, like just like I gotta sleep with this person. I'm not even talking about sex, like sleep, like compatible in the bed, on vacation, food and interest and all these things. You gotta find somebody that you align with, and I finally found that. And it's just like, who cares what race that person is? I'm just so thankful to have somebody. I'm so thankful, and I needed them.
This is your first time like being like in love, you
Yeah.
think? Oh, really?
Yeah, in any true way, yes.
Wow. What do you attribute that to? Like, what do you think?
Self-acceptance, getting over, like I was hiding for a long time. And I met my boyfriend when I was straight, right?
Shut up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've known him for 7 or 8 years.
Did he know you were straight?
He knew me as a straight man, and we have a mutual friend. And so, like, I came out to our friend and said I wanted him. Like, I wanted my boyfriend. So it was like, my friend called Mike and was just like, guess who's gay and who wants to fuck you?
Oh my. That's how your relationship began?
Yeah. It was like shortly thereafter. Well, I went through a phase. I was going kind of crazy for a little while.
Yeah, I could see.
And then, like, it was a few years later.
And now?
And now I'm learning from him. I'm at peace.
love
Now,
that for you.
when he's out of town, we FaceTime to go to sleep.
Oh my God, you are like in love,
Yeah,
love.
I got the laptop on the bed.
Oh.
I don't even like electronics in the bedroom, but I need them.
What is it about monogamy then? Like, what is the problem? He's like your guy. and
Yeah,
you-
I know. And then I think,
Does he want that still? Because he was he was okay with you not being okay with it yet.
yeah, and we opened it, and even with that,
I
I'm-
feel like he opened it, but only because you wanted to.
he's so mature and focused, and he's like, yeah, if you need it, he's understanding. He doesn't worry about it. Like I think there's like the last vestiges of adolescence that I had to get out of my system. And even still, and also there is attraction for someone else outside the relationship, and it breeds a lot of jealousy. And there are gay men in open relationships, and that's really, really rough. But it also creates an opportunity to actually talk about things that you would normally push aside. Like if I were in a straight relationship, that just wouldn't even be an option.
Yeah.
I got like straight friends who can't even say a girl is pretty.
Yeah.
They just like, they at dinner, they're like, I'm not even looking left. like just have to pretend those emotions don't exist.
Yeah. It's interesting because even in the show, like if you're this straight guy who can't bring himself to get past certain scenes and can't watch the whole thing.
Yeah. You're so straight.
You're so
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
that the show makes you uncomfortable. If for some reason you are able to manage to get through it, an interesting thing for anybody, whatever your sexuality is the way that you approach a relationship and with the honesty that you do. That is
talking it out.
so dope and inspiring to me.
Well, it's just don't lie. We just don't lie to
Like
each other.
no matter what.
I mean, that's the goal. Don't get me wrong. We're human, so
Things happen.
things could happen. Things could slip through the cracks. Sometimes you don't even realize. I don't realize I'm holding on to something. Oh, I didn't tell you that. Oh, I wasn't even lying to you. I didn't realize I just was withholding information. So it's sometimes that comes up, but it is beautiful to be able to say, oh, you can go through my phone and there is no surprises. I have no secrets from you. There's nothing that
There are people that would love to have a relationship like that.
I'm thankful for. And it's the only way for me, because otherwise, and I was the one that was lying. I was the one, like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
And, and then I was projecting suspicion onto him because I was fucking up. Like, it's all just traumatic all around. But I'm glad we're able to actually communicate now, to actually say tough things, really difficult things.
What have you learned most from this relationship?
Oh, I don't even want to say anything like cliche, but I understand the practice of making it work, the practice of being open, that it is practice. It's like something that you have to work at every day. And he's somebody that I want to keep in my life forever. I love him very, very much. So I don't want to just, I don't want to just
Let
like
whatever
slip back
happen,
into old
happen.
habit. Yeah. So I don't want
You like managing it with intention, like you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The interesting thing too is watching you not only your relationship with him or your parents, but also your friends. We see friendship is clearly an important thing to you.
Yeah, no, it starts episode 1. I had feelings for a friend and I expressed them, and then we couldn't talk about it, and things were just awkward for a year.
This is Tyler, the creator. For
Yeah.
everyone on set who hasn't watched the show yet.
Yeah.
I say that because he's a public figure and
He's a public figure.
and he's in your first episode.
Yeah, it's part of the reason I invited him to do it, because he's used to the chaos.
Did he know what he was walking into?
He told me he knew it was gonna be some crazy shit, because he knows me and he knows that, like, I was asking him to have a conversation I was afraid to have. So, you know.
I know, it was so sad. I felt so sad for you when he didn't respond.
I know, I'm all vulnerable and fetal position. Yeah, it's memed out on TikTok.
Is it?
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah,
seen
of course.
So then what happens when he sees that back? Is there a reaction from him?
Yeah, he was like joking about it on stage. Yeah, it's like, what can you do? It's an awkward thing.
Yeah.
It's very awkward. It's awkward without cameras. And that's part of the reason I wanted to bring it in, because I know I'm not alone in going through this very awkward, uncomfortable experience. And I wanted to record it. I felt this instinct to just record it and put it out there, because I'd never seen a conversation like that before, ever. Like, and it's embarrassing. I was very embarrassed to have these feelings. It was unrequited, so it's doubly embarrassing.
Are you able to go back to what your friendship was after you kind of are vulnerable with your friend like that?
Well, able to actually live truthfully once the conversation is had.
But is your friendship back to, or not really?
Well, I mean, we live in different cities, so it's not, it is a different thing, you know, and will be a different thing, and will evolve over time, but we're able to actually be honest. The most uncomfortable thing was said, so what else is there? Yeah,
what else you got?
What else you got?
But even your straight friends, you had a college roommate. Was it college? Was it a high school?
No, I never went to college, but I had a high school friend,
You
Jessica.
had a high school friend.
Yeah.
You said that he felt tricked into having a gay best friend.
Yeah. He was like, he would have never signed up for it.
That's so funny to me.
Never. Yeah.
That is so funny to me. But you took the time to like make sure you would I don't know. Friendship seems like it's important to you.
Very important. Well, I mean, that's kind of the gay thing, like the chosen family, because you feel alienated from your family, and so then you rebuild your family with your friends in your life. And that's a very common thing amongst gay people who come out, who have a rough experience at home. And so my friends became my family. They became very, very important to me. So, and most of my friends were very accepting, and then any sense of rejection from the chosen family, you're like, oh no, wait, I thought I filtered that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what do you think? What do you think makes a good friend?
Ooh.
Because it seemed like it matters to you. At least from watching the show.
It's a really good question, and I'm still learning the answer to that, because I retreat in certain ways when things become overwhelming. That's the bad habit that you see in the show. I just like run, just like stop answering calls and texts. Horrible thing to do.
Not ideal.
Oh, it's bad. It's
Yeah.
really, really bad. And I'm learning from that, because if I've had it happen to me, it doesn't feel good. It is being there. It's being open. It's listening. I think listening is very, very important. Hearing someone, seeing someone, like accepting someone. I think that's the role of a friend, to accept all of it. You don't have to always agree, but to accept, to say, I still love you. Yeah.
Yeah, and showing up. You showed up at your friend's. You missed the wedding.
I missed the speech. I was supposed to give a
supposed to give a
speech.
speech,
I was the best man at my friend Pooh's wedding.
He was pissed.
Yeah, well, he was pissed because I had on I didn't want to wear the tux everybody was wearing. I don't like black on black tux. I'm like, it
And
should
he's
have
like,
some
"Motherfucker, this ain't
juxtaposition.
about you."
I know, but I'm still gay and sensitive to fashion.
Fashion over friendship.
Yeah, a little bit. It's just like I don't know if I love anybody enough to do a black on black tux. Like, you're gonna do a black on, like, that's this redundant ass tux. I'm
How
not doing
dare you
that.
even ask?
Yeah.
He should
I don't
be-
know what to
he
do
should-
that.
he should
That's
apologize
Yeah, I don't love anyone enough for a fashion faux pas.
He should apologize for you for even asking you to wear that. Are you happier since it's come out? Since the show's been out?
Yeah.
Dressing all those things?
Yeah, there's a couple stressful moments, but I also know that's necessary. Being seen is stressful. The anxiety of being seen is very stressful.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're gonna see me. Oh my God, they saw me. And then it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's funny because I think there's probably people that can relate to that on every level. Like,
Oh, for
like you
sure.
said, everybody's got a thing. Your friend says to you, your friend who decided not to be in the show to wear a mask and hide his
Yes.
voice. Is he famous, by the way? He is, right?
I can't confirm anything.
Okay.
I'll tell you later.
You will? Good,
Yeah,
because
I'll
it was
tell you.
bothering me. I was
Yeah.
really trying to guess who
Yeah,
he
I'll tell
was
you
because he's
later.
really smart and
Very
he
smart.
seems very cool.
Very
like,
thoughtful, cares about me a lot.
yeah, I could tell. But he said, you take the most like vulnerable parts of your life and you're like serving it up to.
Well, just to the public.
No, he said something to the effect of like the
What did he say?
I think
Yeah,
I have
I'm-
it.
I'm-
I think I have it in my notes. Hold on, I'm going to tell you right now what he said. Oh no, it wasn't that bad. Maybe in my mind it was.
Mm-hmm.
He said you take the most intimate parts of your life, or the most cherished parts of your life, and you serve it up to the public.
Yeah.
And like the worst part of the public is there too.
Yes,
right.
for
So you're
sure.
serving like the most. I don't know why. I guess it's why.
I'm trying to be as public as I was private, so it's a personal decision because most of my life was lived in such secrecy and such fear that I'm just trying to just put it all out there. I said this about my special Rothaniel, which could apply to the show as well, that the premise could be man who's afraid of heights skydives on national television. That's essentially what I'm doing. Like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna face my biggest fears. Being seen
On HBO.
Yeah, being seen was a huge fear. I was terrified that people would see me, they would judge me, they wouldn't like me, they would. And it's happening.
That's what I'm
people,
gonna say.
some
Some
people are
people
just
feel that
being
way.
like, we don't like, and I'm like, okay, and it's okay. You got to take that. I offered it, but
It's still better, right?
oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
What do you say to somebody who's at that point? And like, is this like a don't try this at home thing, or do try this at
I
home?
hope everybody gets their own reality show. People seem to be aiming for, again, like if you are posting, like if you're, one of my favorite responses, there's a woman on TikTok, she's like recording on her phone. She's like, what Gerard Carmichael needs to understand is that everything don't need to be on camera. And I'm like, ma'am. We're all on the same internet. Like HBO Max is just a corner of the internet. Like we're all just sharing the same internet, putting things out, wanting to be seen, wanting people to say, I see you, I hear you, I understand you, I accept you. That's the hope. And that's what I'm putting things out for. Mine has really a specific, but a lot of it's for my family, for my parents. Like I want them to see me, I want them to understand me. It's this eternal quest to be seen and understood by them. But also in the larger sense, like also the public. I want to be. I think the rejection that probably hurts the most are from the communities that I'm inherently a part of. If it's a rejection from the gay community or from the black community in any way, that is definitely hurtful because I am you. I am you. I'm living the same experiences as you, and I'm not lying to you. Like that's part of the thing that hurts, where you're like, oh no, I'm actually not lying to you. Like I could lie. Most public figures aren't this honest.
Yeah.
They don't put out the things that could make them
Yeah.
unlikable. But like I'm doing it in the hopes for acceptance.
Has there been anyone, even publicly, that has supported you that you were surprised that they got it and they were
Ooh.
like?
Yeah, I think that there have been some good like DMs like we talked about before. The
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. I don't know if you've seen the show. Kevin's busy with
Right.
30 companies or
Yeah,
whatever. But I talked about Jay seeing it. He was one of the first people I sent it to.
Which
I
one?
I sent Jay the episode with the road trip with my dad, just because I thought he would like relate to it. And he sent me a really sweet, thoughtful response to it. And he told me one of my favorite parts of his response. because I go to Bojangles, like this restaurant, I'm like looking for a sausage biscuit for half the episode. And Jay was like, "You going hard on the Bojangles, chill, champ." And I promise you, I haven't eaten pork since. This is a year ago. I promised Jay I would give up pork, and he's God to me. So it's like I made a promise to God I give up pork, and it's made me healthier.
And you sent him that and
I sent him the road trip episode. He responds to things I do, and it makes me feel really good. Like he's such an artist. He's a true art, and I do think that artists have a different response to it than the general public, because artists know the dangerous territory that I'm in, right? Like actually like portraying something this truthful and putting it out for the general public to dissect and to comment on is a place that people don't typically go. They don't, for good reason, because it doesn't feel good to be like analyzed and yelled at or whatever, but it feels like new territory in a way.
Yeah, because it's brave. I think that's what I said to you when I first saw it.
Yeah.
It's
Your message meant a lot.
That's sweet. But it's what I felt was my immediate reaction after watching all. I don't remember the words I said, but I said it was like crazy.
Yeah.
Brave.
Yeah.
All the things. It's like all the things.
Yeah.
Truthful.
Yeah. So wild watch.
Yeah, it is, but it's mostly it's brave to me, especially like you said, just when it's your most vulnerable things, whatever it is, not just the sexuality of it, but just all of it, just putting all of your soft spots,
Myself.
yourself and your soft spots. You must be. Are you proud of yourself for that?
I feel good. I feel like I'm not hiding, and there's a lot of
good for you.
Like very proud of, like I put out things that I'm ashamed of, things that I was embarrassed by.
What was that? What'd you put out?
Well, I mean, from episode 1, it was like a lot of it's embarrassing. There's people. Some of the comments are like this is embarrassing. I'm like, I know. I say it in the show, like this is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And
things.
you still do it.
Yeah, because it's embarrassing. That's all the more reason to put it out there, to not be controlled by that. Because you can be controlled by that emotion. You're embarrassed by something, you want to hide it, you want to control it, you want to rewrite it.
What about the healing part of it? Like you do a lot of therapy.
Yeah, I do psychoanalysis 4 times a week.
What?
2 double sessions, yeah.
4 times a week,
So it's 2 double sessions on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
which is what, 2 hours?
2.5, yeah.
2.5 hours, twice a week.
Yeah.
That's a lot
It's
of
deep.
therapy. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
deep. No therapy fatigue ever.
Was that
No, like,
fatigue?
fatigue?
No. Like I like when my therapist goes on vacation.
You do? You get
Because
a
it
break?
gives me okay, you're right.
You just like being accountable for all your shit.
Well, explore it because you want to know what's underneath. That's the thing. Like when you start exploring your own life, you realize that all of your actions have something deeper behind it. Like, and I'm trying to bring that to my family, but trying to get my mom to explore it is just like, because it's easy to just. My mom uses the word preferences a lot. Well, that's my preference. Like I'm this way because it's my preference. And I'm always like, yes, how do we get here? What's behind that? What led you to this preference? What led you to this decision? And that's something that my family isn't used to exploring, and I try to introduce that. That's what you learn in therapy. You start exploring your own life. You start realizing like, this is why. You start drawing lines between something that happened when you were 8 to a thing that you're doing when you're 38. Like you realize like, it's been 30 years of.
What has been the biggest revelation for you through therapy? I know there's probably so many.
Yeah, it's a lot because it is day to day. I realize like a lot of like my sexual behavior is rooted in things that I saw or felt or didn't feel as a child. I realize a lot of my selfish behavior is rooted in inadequacies I felt as a child. Fear, things that I was afraid of, start drawing lines. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to narrow it down.
Isn't it fun though when the therapist tells you something and you're like, holy shit, that's right.
Yes. Oh my God.
Get it? I love that feeling.
Oh, I hang up actually.
I don't know
when
if
we have a big moment
Shut
like
up.
that. No, it's over. Like
hang
we're
up?
not gonna top it, and we call it Lacan. There's this like.
That's funny.
Yeah, I just hang up.
That's so funny.
Yeah, like this is it for today.
You just reminded me of a thing that happened in one of my interviews back in the day. Cameron told me one time that he gives his assistants and all his like publicists. He's like he gives them a time. At the beginning of the call. Okay, you have 90 seconds.
Oh, Jesus.
So they say what they need him to do, and he literally just hangs up the phone
that's
after
funny.
90 seconds.
That's funny. I get that. I do get like.
I wish I could do that. I want to do that.
A trick if you go into a party that has a lot of people, I enter saying goodbye. So if you enter the party saying like I was just leaving, people say the thing that they wanted to say to you that they would save for later. They just get it all out then.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Hey, oh yeah, I was just about to leave. So good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Yeah,
Me too.
yeah. Like enter saying goodbye. Yeah.
And then bye.
Yeah.
And then do you really leave?
Yeah, eventually. I usually leave a party pretty.
I'm gonna try that.
I'm
We should
usually
all
not
try
the
that at
last.
home, everybody. We should try that in real life.
Yeah.
See how that works. See how that works for us. I'm gonna totally try that. Sometimes people think therapy is just when you got bad shit going on, or when you're in crisis, or when you're
No,
depressed
it's just
or-
exploring your own life.
Yeah.
It's an excuse to talk, and it's during COVID, my mom really wanted to get her hair done, and we were all afraid. It was during the don't leave the house phase. Like you don't leave, and she was like, okay, except I need to go. She goes to the Dominicans, gets the thing. She needs it, loves it.
It's a necessity.
But I was like, why is this so important to you? She's like, again, this is my preference. I like my hair a certain way. And then I kept asking her questions, and we got to a place where she was the only black girl in one of her classes and felt so left out. Like, and she saw how guys treated the other girls and treated the girls with the straight hair, and how she started to see that as ideal. And like we got to a really, really deep, beautiful place through exploration. It's a place you wouldn't normally get to. It's just like, oh, she likes her hair a certain way. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, but why?
Yeah. Did it free her at all?
I hope so. I always hope that. I hope that that's what I could offer, because I tried to protect my mom for a long time, and now I want to offer an outlet for my parents. Like it really is with the hope of freedom, like that I do these things. It's insane. I acknowledge that. That's insane.
Yeah,
we're on
because
HBO
somebody could-
Friday nights
I
saying all
know.
our business. That's
Somebody
crazy.
could watch it and go, "Why is he doing that to his parents?"
Oh, people do watch. They
It's
do ask that. Yeah.
You know, people could think it's mean or it's tough.
I would
or,
invite them to dinner at my mother's house. And
Well, we don't see the other
They
side.
would know why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're right. If it ends up, I mean, the best case scenario, right, is that it ends up where a place where they're freer.
Yeah, it's
and
all
they
out.
live a better life. And yeah, that's a good therapy note. I mean, it's a revelation. But that wasn't through therapy. You helped her find that out, figure that out.
It's something I learned through it. It's like paying
Yeah.
it forward.
Yeah, I do. I'll do a therapy session. I keep it weekly, and
Yeah.
even if everything's just super great, I'll do it just because I trust this person's opinion. Sometimes I would want to flush an idea out,
Yeah.
whatever the thing is of the week, and
Yeah. Even sometimes when things are great, you ever like have a great moment and you get afraid it's gonna end? I mean, like it's like foreshadowing. Doom is what people call it. But like you're just like everything's going so great. Oh man, everyone's having a wonderful time. Like, oh man, what if the ceiling caved in?
Are you that guy?
Yeah, I'm terrified. I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
I'm always afraid that something's gonna happen, and it's like I can't even just let a beautiful moment be a beautiful moment.
Yeah, my therapist told me that I tend to go to doom.
Yeah.
Like doomsday for no reason. Like
Yeah.
everything's totally fine. Why do you have? But a lot of that is from PTSD because I had a bad car accident. So I'm like
Yeah.
afraid in cars.
Yes.
The worst thing, if my husband's late, I'm like, is he okay?
Yeah, of course,
Is he-
Especially if you
something
lost
happened in the
someone or you
car?
went through something
Yeah, yeah,
traumatic.
it's-
Those things linger. They stay in your body, and they
Yeah.
affect your day-to-day life in a real way. And unless you explore that, unless you actually go to the uncomfortable place and say, "Wait, why do I think this way?" You just
Stuck.
live with the pain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not the good way to do it.
it's not good. It's not good for your health. It's not good for your day-to-day life. It's not good for your relationships,
Yeah,
because you start taking that out on other people.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Look at you giving healing advice out to
No,
the. Look at
I'm
you giving
learning. I'm learning.
healing advice out to the world.
I mean, I got a sex therapist that me and my boyfriend see together, and I see alone. I got my therapist. We got all the therapists.
Do you ever think you could? Do you think that you could ever be fully healed? Is that like a goal?
Well, as long as you have new experiences, there's new ways to process them. So, like, yeah, like sometimes I joke with my therapist, like, have I graduated yet? Like, is this over? Did I do it? But there's always something new to explore. And maybe you take breaks. And I'm one of those people that are like, maybe you are finding ways to explore and to contend with your life, and you don't need therapy. Like, sure.
Yeah.
But you have to ask the questions. And if you aren't made uncomfortable by something in your life, then it's usually a sign that you're not facing something that you need to face.
You're so good. You're really good
No,
at
you're
this.
good. You
Stop.
don't know how happy I am. This feels really good. I've truly, like when I saw you at that party, I like wanted to say hi. I was.
We were at a party together.
We were at a
I
party
thought
together.
this is not. We didn't meet though, right?
No, because I was afraid.
Stop.
I
it.
saw you over there. You were like like everyone was
This
talking to
was
you,
in
and I
LA.
was just like kind of in a corner. This in LA, yeah.
This was the Jay-Z 444.
The night it came out.
Well, that was the private party. Was that with that's at
I
the
felt
house?
really cool.
You were at the
I felt
house.
pretty cool.
That was I don't think that was their house. I think that was like a loaner house till their house was ready.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It was still gorgeous.
gorgeous, beautiful. on
Blue
the
Ivy's
water.
running around.
Yeah, yeah.
444, which was Jay's most
Personal.
personal. Yeah.
As a fan, I'm just in
Yeah.
awe because he showed evolution, and that's the thing that Jay offers to rap that I try and offer to like what I do is like, okay, can we evolve? Like a lot of times, like you get stuck at one thing, and it's profitable, so it's easy to be stuck at the one thing.
Yeah.
And Jay his work grows with his life, and I really respect that.
It's funny because what was the time? I don't want to get this wrong. What was the time between Lemonade and 444? Like, not that long, right? Maybe a year?
Yeah, I actually don't. I don't know exactly
don't
how
know.
long, but yeah.
I just remember that night having a conversation with Beyonce. They were so comfortable with, for two people who never share their private, who have been so private and intentionally private.
Yes.
To share so deeply.
Oh, they do so with their work. It's part of the reason they don't need to give interviews. Like they're sharing more than the average artist
For sure.
in their work.
But I just remember that night that they seemed so at peace and so happy with that.
It's out.
They weren't uncomfortable about it at all. Yeah, they
Yeah,
had that.
it's out in the world.
It's kind
It's
of
a
like the
freedom.
energy you're giving me right now.
It's a freedom.
I feel like they had that. They both had that, and they were both really. I had said something to each of them about how it affected me, and they both. You could tell that really mattered to them. Why they had
Oh,
put
it's
that. Yeah,
huge. I
yeah.
mean, 444 again. Like, this is a man who had the mantra "I will not lose," making an album about fear of loss. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. You can't overstate the importance of that to the genre.
Oh yeah, if you compare the lyrics of Young Jay.
Yes. Growth.
Yeah,
People
and
don't
like-
grow. And as an artist, if you're never contradicting yourself, then don't call yourself that.
Yeah. So we were both at that same party
Yeah,
together.
we were there, but you were like in the cool corner with B,
Shut
and I
up.
was just like, I was just on the perimeter, just
Shut up.
with my little drink.
If you were at that
Like,
house,
I'm gonna say hi. I'm gonna say hey.
I wish you would have. We would have had that moment
We
together.
would have had a
We'd be
great
like,
moment.
Remember that night?
We had a great moment. Yeah,
That
no,
was
I remember you being there and just being like, oh, Angie's here. Like I want to say everything like, I've loved you forever, but I just want to be like, I love you.
Stop.
Yeah.
You're too sweet. That is very sweet. That was a great night. That's a good one. That's
It was
a
really
good memory
night.
for us.
I remember that night.
That we were
so
there.
It was a very beautiful night.
I have a whole bunch of in real life questions that I want to ask you at
Anything
the
you
end.
want. I'll say anything. I'll ruin my career today.
Shut up. How could you? What could you
asked me-
possibly say?
I know. What else is left?
What else could you possibly have left in the chamber? I would have to like literally set you up for no reason looking for a clickbait,
Yeah.
which I would never do to you.
Yeah.
Which you are, by the way, very prone to. Like
A lot of clickbaitable
you just,
things.
Yeah, if you're going around, like, did you do a lot of press? You didn't do that much press after or did you? Did
I
miss-
try and limit it, and I value another reason I was excited to come here because I need thoughtful conversation.
Yeah, I
Like,
get that.
Otherwise, because it
Because if
gets lost.
Low hanging fruit.
Oh, it's
is-
it's so easy
yeah.
to write the show off, to write me off. Like, I need a thoughtful person that's actually watched it, because there's a lot of that too. It's a lot of like, I saw 30 seconds and fuck this nigga.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that. So
Yeah.
like, I need someone who actually watches the thing and has a thoughtful
Yeah.
response.
I always think about this for people who have to like. It's the thing about sexuality. It's like, okay, whether you're gay or straight or bi or whatever your thing is, I'm a straight woman, but I don't want to talk about my sexuality all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had to come out as being straight, like if that was a thing for me, where I had to, the whole world was gay, and I had to be like, guys, I'm straight.
Yeah.
And then every day people want to ask me about sex and sexuality.
Yeah.
Like that would be really uncomfortable for me because it's none of your damn business.
Well, the unique experience of being gay is that, I mean, this is a joke, but I think it's true, is that gay people have to tell their mom what they're into.
Yeah.
And that's a conversation
I
that straight
never
people
wanna
never have to have.
No.
My brother never came out as straight. He just showed up with 5 kids. My mom knows what that is and how it got there. Like, so there's no questions, there's no conversation. I had to make the statement to explain my life, to explain why there's no wife, why there's no. I had to come out and explain.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what I like, and this is what the rest of my life is going to look like.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Yeah, but in saying that, I understand because sometimes I see people. There's certain celebrities that most of us kind of know what their lifestyle, but they don't ever come out, and there's always this like chatter about what they should and they should be honest about. And I think why? Why would anybody have to?
Yeah, and it's still
that,
and
but-
it's still scary because the thing is, some people be like, oh, it doesn't matter, but then, I mean, I've read enough about myself. I'm like, no, it's still people that say really hateful, fucked
bad
up
shit.
things. Yeah.
And then you have to talk about it all the time. Do you ever get tired of that being a conversation?
I don't mind it mostly because I came out later in life, so there are things that I didn't explore, and a lot of my work is me exploring these questions that I have. Like, what does it mean? What does it mean to stand firmly in the idea of being a gay man? Does it make me less of a man? Does it, like, how do I contend with that? Like, a lot of the work that I make is me trying to answer those questions. So I have a curiosity. I'm not even afraid of things coming off as homophobic. Like, there's nobody more homophobic than the man who hid his sexuality for so long. Like, I was saying, this is wrong, this is bad. There's almost nothing that someone could say or ask that I haven't asked myself, or that I shouldn't. I need to ask myself these questions. So and at some point it'll be, I've answered those questions and we'll move on to something else. But
At some
I'm
point.
still asking.
Not now when you just put out this show where you're showing us all your business. Now it's too soon.
Yeah,
now people
now
got
it's a little too
questions.
soon. Yeah, I still got. They got questions now.
No, we got questions.
Yeah.
That's really funny. All right, I'm going to ask you some real life questions
Please.
now. In real life, what do you pray for most?
Ooh.
I mean, you did grow up in a church, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
I try to accept the divinity within, and my prayers are trying to align myself with what I believe is an innate good, that what God is within me and within you. I try and recognize that in you when looking at you, saluting the divinity within you. There was this exercise that I used to do, and I can't remember, it's a thing, I don't know if I made it up or if I read it somewhere, but anyway, if I'm out in public, I imagine that I'm stuck at the bottom of a well, and every face that I see is the first face peering over the edge, and that person has the ability to save me, to rescue me, to help me, and I try and see that in people. Like, you get rid of any shell, you just see the good, you just see God. That person over the edge is God. And I try and see God in you. I try and recognize the God in me and accept that and live like that. And it takes work and it takes daily realignment, but that's my prayer.
Every day.
All the time, multiple times a day, constantly.
Wow.
I'm trying to realign with that.
Yeah. Religion must be, I separate religion from God,
Yes.
Must be an interesting thing for you to explore, especially having grown up, and then also some of the views of like your mom feels like it's a sin
Yes.
to be gay.
And a lot of times she hasn't had to explore the religion itself, right? Coming out meant that I felt rejected by the religion that raised me, by my mother's religion. So I was forced to go off and read. I had to read literature about the religion that I grew up in. I had to try and understand it. I had to put things into context. I searched for a deeper understanding that most people don't have to search for. You just kind of accept God as is, as it's taught. And it's separating the wheat from the chaff. Some things are in the text. Some things are taught. Some things are cultural. Some things are just said in the church that have nothing to do with the text, but that are accepted. There's a funny list of things that I can't think of any of the expressions, but it's a list of expressions that people just assume is in the Bible.
And it's not.
That has nothing to do with the Bible. The Bible, you'd be shocked by the Bible never explicitly states that there's an afterlife, heaven and hell. That's a whole other combo. We would need 3 in real lives to
get down to all of that. And you don't want to, oh God, you're just opening yourself up.
Things are starting to get better with me and my mom. Let me not rock
please.
the boat too much.
In real life, what are some of your pet peeves and triggers?
Pet peeves.
Things that annoy you.
Ooh, what are things that annoy me? I'm a fast walker, so I don't like people that lack self-awareness on the sidewalk. I don't like people who think they're in an episode of Girls and walk 3 in a line on the sidewalk. I'm you're not being filmed, get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah.
I hate Dasani because it's got sodium in it for no reason. I hate, what do I hate?
So much more.
Yeah.
So many things.
Yeah, I hate the illusion of danger in art. I hate people that call themselves dangerous but aren't. They're really puppies. I hate a lot of things. A lot of pet peeves.
That's pretty good. I have a terrible one.
What?
For myself.
What's yours?
It's like one of my. It's like something I feel.
What's yours? Tell me. Oh, I need
Am I
to
gonna?
know.
Should I not share this about
you
myself?
gotta tell me.
It's really a terrible thing about it's one of the not nice things of myself. I have a real problem when people trip. That's it. If you're near, the natural reaction, if somebody you care about trips over this thing when they walk by, your natural reaction is, oh my God, are you okay?
Yes.
What's happening inside of me is annoyed. I'm like, ugh.
Fucking loser. You're looking at them like they're a loser?
No, it bothers me. It's and I'm working on it because I know it's foul.
What do you think that is?
I think
they aren't in control, that they lack some control?
It's get yourself together.
Yeah.
It's a thing. I have an aunt. I love her. She's so clumsy. We're in the supermarket. She's the one that likes walking behind you, is looking at the thing on the floor and crashes into your ankle, and the cart bangs up the whole back of your leg. And I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Pay attention to where you're going. It's a whole world out here. Drive me nuts. But it's the similar type of thing when somebody, and I never really noticed and I had an old assistant, shout out to Monse. He said, and the same that I was in the studio one day and he tripped, and I was like, ugh. And he said to me, can I tell you something about you that you don't even, I don't know if you know or not about yourself?
Yeah.
I was like, what? What is it? He was like, you get annoyed when people trip or fall? You should ask me, am I okay?
Wow.
And I just was like,
wow.
You're right. That's terrible.
That's a great topic for therapy, though, right? Have you explored that?
I haven't, but now that you just reminded me about that about myself, something must have happened where somebody was inconsiderate or klutzy, and then it bothered me.
But I mean, even something, because I think
is that not crazy behavior? Am I a terrible person?
No. Sometimes I have a negative reaction to
Brittany,
weakness.
you tripped earlier and it bothered me. You know that, right? You did it in the back.
But
no, you will, and it's fine. I'll get over it.
But that could be I'm not a therapist, so far be it from me. But because I have a reaction to weakness sometimes that is almost inhumane. It lacks empathy.
Yes.
Where it's no, tough it. Hey, get your fucking shit together.
Oh, it's the same thing. That's the same thing.
I have that sometimes where it's I had to be tough. You better be tough. Walk 10 toes. 10 toes down.
The crazy shit is that I'm such an empathetic person. Sometimes overly empathetic.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have sympathy for this person. He's a dirtbag, but I feel bad because he came from a band. I have a lot of empathy for people, but something about tripping or being clumsy,
So interesting.
it really irks my soul.
That's interesting.
It's terrible.
That's funny.
I say that with shame, not pride.
That's funny. Just see somebody just like, oh, like comically
like-
tripping, like a bunch of oranges in the air. Like
And I'm like, what is wrong
and
with
you're
you?
just like, ugh, loser.
I'm so ashamed. I'm so ashamed. That and also a pet peeve of mine is people who try to manipulate.
Well-
Not just me, but anybody else.
Yeah.
Like if you walked in the room and you tried to manipulate somebody in the room, like it would immediately irritate me about you. Like if I see that type
Yeah.
of, especially in a bullying sense or.
Oh, that's me in church.
What do you mean?
Like hearing like a rich person get up and like talk to like a poor congregation about, like I get real sensitive to that. Like I start filtering. I feel very protective. At church with my mom, I'm like, what are you saying? Because she believes all of this. Like, what are you telling her? I get real protective over that. And like, church is a place where a lot of good happens. I'm not even trying to like just talk down on it, but there's a lot of manipulation that happens there, and I get it. That's where I feel it the most.
Yeah, because you come from a family that your mother lives by
Yeah,
what she's been
I have
taught.
a very personal traumatic reason to feel that, but that's where I'm like, what are you saying? Like, what do you like? I'm very judgmental because that person has a lot of power and control. Like you're talking to a crowd that believe God is speaking through you. So like, I'm like, careful what you say. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm on you. I see you.
I'm on you. Yeah, like
That might be part of why you do what you do.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
might be part
I
of
got a
your-
microphone too.
Yeah, it might be definitely
Yeah.
part of what you do for a living. In real life, what is one regret that you have?
Oh, not saying hi to you at that party. No, no. I'm
That's
trying
your
to-
biggest regret in
Yeah,
life.
yeah. I'm trying to think of what regret. That's tough, right? Because there are things that, I wish I had the courage to say or confront earlier. I wish I had better protected my mom. I wish that I were more honest about myself. But these things all kind of played out how they played out, and dealt with them as I was ready to deal with them. So I can't call them regrets, but yeah, I'd have to think about that. Like what regret that I have. I'm certain it's not helping someone that I could have helped.
What are you most proud of about yourself?
Ooh, my ability to change and grow. I'm proud that I can say I was wrong. Like, oh, what I was doing, it was wrong. Like I'm doing something else now. Like it's helped my artistry. It's helped me personally. The ability to change, to recognize, to accept criticism, to accept things. Like I am open.
What is the end goal for you? Like, what is the shining star? Like
Yeah.
the thing that you.
I mean, I
are
talk about Jay a
chasing?
lot because Jay is like an artist, like a capital A artist to me. Like he evolved, he changes, he takes breaks, comes back when he has something to say. Because I'm someone, it's part of the reason I'm not like on social media, because I don't like to speak unless I have something to say. So I think words are really, really important. So I'm very like precious with words. I'm very precious about what I write and put out. Like I had a Twitter account for a little while, and it's just like, oh, I'm just like writing. I'm just like in the car writing. Like no, like I value this too much. So I would like to consistently mean what I say. That's what I want as an artist. I want to mean what I say.
Okay, so then in real life, what do you hope that people learn from your life?
I've been trying to put out the most like honest version of myself, and put out things that I've hidden for so long, and things that I had a reason to hide, and some things I had no reason to hide. And I try and put all of that into work. And I hope people see I hope people see the humanity in me, and can recognize a part of themselves in me in some way. I do want to be seen. I'm finally unafraid of being seen. And so, yeah, I'd like for people to see me, and I'm on a quest for understanding.
That's great. I can't help to think that you're looking for a quest for understanding in a time where the world is probably the least understanding.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's a lot of team sports, a lot of battles.
Yeah, pick a side.
Yeah. It's not room for the nuance that comes with being a human being. It's a lot of presenting one side of yourself and saying that's all of who I am, and that's just not true. If you're a human being, there's always something else. There's always something. We're more complex than that. And as an artist, it's my responsibility to explore that complexity.
Well, I think we see you today, so thank you for that.
I felt seen.
You did?
I felt really
I
seen.
did
felt
good
really
then.
good.
Then
No,
I
thank
did
you
my
for this.
job.
Thank you very, very much for
Thank
today.
you, my love.
Felt
Thank
really
you for
good.
trusting me. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We're friends now.
Oh my God. Next party, we're dancing together.
We're gonna hang out. It's amazing.
Thank you very much.
Gerard Carmichael, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.